Sonia Citron, 0 points in the first half. She ended with 21 points.
Blood on the floor, lights are beaming, dancing gold. We're all dreaming, can you feel the heat? It's electric, disco balls and lights, so kinetic. Shiny sequins light, never boring. Dancing queens unite, stars are soaring. Come on, feel the beat, groove to the rhythm. Come on, move your feet, dance into freedom. Roller skates fly, we keep moving. Music so loud, body's grooving. Can you hear the sound? It's inviting. Disco nights are young, so exciting. Neon lights, they glow, mesmerizing. The glitter in the air, it's surprising. Come on, feel the beat, groove to the rhythm. Come on, move your feet, dance into freedom. Let the ball, to the ball, make the gummy. Let the ball, to the ball, make the gummy. Let the ball, to the ball, make the gummy. Let the ball, to the ball, make the gummy. Let the ball, to the ball, make the come alive. Let the ball, to the ball, make the dance floor right. Let the ball, everyone start tonight. Let the ball. Come on, feel the beat, groove to the rhythm. Come on, move your feet, dance into freedom.
But the player of the game and everybody made a contribution is Sonia.
Well, shout out to Ann. I said that if we won, I would ask you to get ice cream on the way.
Did the ice cream afterwards taste a little better?
Yes, it was actually so good. It was so good.
Sonia, how are you feeling after getting your 1,000 points? I feel great. It's a great accomplishment, so I'm really happy.
During the game of Virginia, how did you feel when you were going bucket after bucket each play? How were you feeling during that moment?
I mean, it felt really good. I was just happy I was able to make the buckets. Yeah.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Track and Ace, man. Let's get to it, man. I had to redo this video because I just felt like, because I did the last one last week, I want to kind of redo this video. I just really want to redo it. And we're going to talk about Sonia Citron. And I decided to introduce Sonia Citron first before I do a video combining her and Lucy Olsen, because I'm also going to talk about Pow Pow as well. So I want to do that video later and just focus in on Sonia Citron for right now. And so for those of y'all that's been watching my video, I've been one of the few Fever fans that have been definitely criticizing Kelsey Mitchell extensively, and I haven't done like some other content creators have changed up my opinion on it. I definitely won't be changing up on it because I know a Monte Ellis situation when I see one, and I know the trajectory of this team becoming a dynasty is going to be separated by two things. It's going to be getting a younger guard next to Caitlin Clark. That means you're going to have to replace Mitchell. And then number two, injuries, health. Like, those are the two things that's going to end up stopping this from being a dynasty. Those two things. I'm telling you. Steph Curry. I'm going to relay this story one more time to y'all. Steph Curry. Actually, it probably won't be the last time, because I think every time I do a Mitchell video, I'm going to have to relay this. But this video really isn't about Mitchell. It's really more about Sonia Citron. The story is Steph Curry. Right? Steph Curry, when he was with the Golden State Warriors, first few years. Baby Steph. They were going to trade Steph Curry. Right? The Warriors were going to trade Steph Curry. They ended up trading Monte Ellis instead, which ended up being the biggest move that organization ended up making, to winning those 4 titles over the next 10 years. Because had they not made that move, the Warriors would not have become the dynasty that they ended up becoming. They needed to trade the old guard who was in the way, who wasn't a real team player. And I used to love Monte Ellis. Like, Monte Ellis was one of my favorite players at one point back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. I used to play with him on NBA Live, 2K. Around that time, I used to kill with Monte Ellis, man. But even I knew back then, and I was about, when they made that trade, I think I was about 23 or 24 years old. So even I knew back then that they had to trade Monte Ellis. But I remember this. See, this situation is very familiar with the Indiana Fever. Because I remember this. Warrior fans were pissed off when they traded Monte Ellis. I remember them being pissed off about trading Monte Ellis, because they loved Monte Ellis. But little did they realize how much that actually helped the team. Because Steph, what happened? Steph flourished after that. Steph became Steph Curry after that, because he got more shots, because Monte Ellis was taking a lot of shots from Steph. Then they drafted Klay Thompson, and the rest is history, Jeremiah Green as well. But mainly Klay Thompson, who was a better team player than Monte Ellis, came in. He was a younger guard. They put him next to Curry, and those two were able to grow together over the next 10 years. I keep telling people, you in love with Kelsey Mitchell. Yeah, she doing what she doing right now. And you're not looking towards, see, a lot of y'all not looking at this in hindsight. Y'all looking at the now, y'all living in the present, which is cool. But you gotta realize, if they don't move, if they, like, look, they could bring Mitchell back for 1 year. But if you bring Mitchell back for multiple seasons, it's gonna tear Caitlin's ability to win multiple rings. Because what's going to end up happening is, it's the same thing that happened to Kobe. She's going to go through a significant portion of her prime years without winning a title. Because you got to realize, Mitchell is about to get on the wrong side of 30. All right, so she got a little bit more time left. And when that window closes, with Mitchell being her sidekick, guess what's going to happen? Cece's going to be without a sidekick, right? She's going to be in her prime playing next to, they may end up getting a younger guard at that point, and then at that point it's going to be like, it's going to take a few years to get that younger guard caught up to speed with the quality championship player that Caitlin Clark has become. You know, and that's where it gets scary at, right? That's where it gets hella scary at. And y'all don't think about that shit because y'all just thinking about that now. I keep trying to put the seed in your head so that you know what's about to happen. And a lot of y'all that keep arguing with me about Mitchell didn't even know who Mitchell was before this year. So you can't really even argue with someone that's been watching Mitchell since Ohio State. I'm not trying to brag or anything like that, but I know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So if we do this now, while CC is only 23 years old next year, or 24 the year after that, if we get a young guard in here now that CC could grow with, it's going to make a hell of a difference. It's going to make a hell of a difference. Hell of a difference. Someone who could play defense too. And that's why we're going to be talking about Sonia Citron today. So y'all already know I got 4 places where you can donate as of right now. I got the Cash App. My name on the Cash App is $sank exchange. I got PayPal. You could donate through PayPal. The link, there's a link below where you can donate through PayPal, Bitcoin as well, and super thanks here on YouTube. You could donate that way too. And you can see on the leaderboard, I have Linda Smith at the top, R1 Grimes from YouTube, and El Professor. I've been showing y'all his Cash App, so he's at 30, and we had our first PayPal donation earlier this week. R1 Grimes and Bernadette were the 2 that donated in the past week on those platforms. So y'all can see the top 4, and when you donate, you will be on this list. And one thing I wanted to tell y'all, if you donate a little more, like maybe like Linda Smith did or R1 Grimes, let me know if your donation is towards the new mic that I've been telling y'all that I want to get. There's a mic that Rachel Demita uses. Shout out to Rachel Demita. She makes Caitlin Clark content on here. I want to get that mic, and let me know if your donation is towards that mic. I will put that money away, and it will only go towards the mic. So let me know in the donation if it's towards the mic. All right. So that's how you guys can donate, and I will go over everything else at the end of the video. Let's get back to the video right now and wrap it up. Sonia Citron. If you don't know who she is a guard that plays next to Olivia Miles out of Notre Dame. And both of them are expected to be in the top 10 of the draft as of right now. Olivia Miles is a point guard that a lot of people that need point guards, especially younger ones like the Sky and shit, are looking at on Olivia Miles. Mystics, I think I'm probably going to be looking at her too. Another team that should be looking at her is like Atlanta, who's going to be one of those teams. Valkyries might even try to take her. But there's some teams that and who knows, if the Aces lose Plum, they may need a point guard to replace her, and they might need to get a younger one. So Olivia Miles is definitely somebody who is going to be heavily sought after. You're going to hear a lot of her name in the upcoming year on the college level, just in case you haven't heard of her name. Same thing with Sonia Citron. Now, Sonia Citron, here's the scoop on her. So for those guys that keep talking about chemistry, well, she's played with Caitlin Clark on the U19 level internationally. So she already has played with Caitlin Clark before. A lot of y'all probably didn't know that. While y'all sitting up here talking about Mitchell, she's already played with Sonia Citron. And those two seem to have pretty good chemistry on the court. You know? And those two know each other. And I believe they're complemented off of each other very well. One thing you're definitely not going to get, so for those guys that's got a problem with like Mitchell's selfish play, you're not going to get that from someone like Sonia Citron. You're not going to get that. As a matter of fact, you're not going to get that from none of the younger players. Like Lucy Olsen, is definitely going to not be selfish. I know she takes a lot of shots too, but that's her role right now because she is the feature player on the offense. But when she gets to the fever, I guarantee you she won't be trying to take all the shots, trying to outdo Caitlin like Kelsey Mitchell does. So Sonia Citron is going to come in here, and right off the bat, she's going to upgrade the position because she's going to play defense, something that Kelsey Mitchell cannot do. And if you say Kelsey Mitchell can play defense, you know nothing about basketball. You haven't been watching the games because she's been getting blown away like every game. She's actually a defensive liability. She's really a defensive liability on the court. Enrique just fried her up for 34 points this past Sunday. So, and I know that's Enrique, but at the same time, I can guarantee you Citron. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that exposes Mitchell on this too. Is that when Lexi Hall in the second half was put on, like Enrique literally only had 10 points. She had 24 points in the first half. Then they started, switching. Lexi Hall got some opportunities to defend Enrique, and Enrique was shut down by her. Shut down by Lexi Hall. So imagine if you had Citron next to her, next to Lexi Hall, what type of defense that's going to create. And that's sort of like what Klay Thompson bought that to the Warriors, which is something that Monte Ellis didn't have. Monte Ellis is the same way. He was a shooter, scorer, didn't play good defense. So, and most two guards are expected to just be shooters and scorers. You know what I mean? Like, so, but I think with Cece, I think she works better with a combo guard, right? I was talking about this with the Sabrina Ionescu video, that a combo guard worked really well. It's only Citron could play point guard, because there was times when Olivia Miles was out, she was playing the point, and I thought she did pretty well. You know what I mean? So y'all gonna see some stuff in these highlights, that I'm gonna be playing in the background for y'all, man. And Sonia Citron, man, is someone who I think really complements the game of Caitlin Clark super well, like super well. But the most thing that I'm most impressed with Sonya is her defense, man. The defense, I fathom over her and Hall together in the backcourt. Like, that is scary for teams. The Fever are already a scary team. Just imagine once you get a defender like Sonia Citron next to her, it's going to be curtains for these teams. It's going to be curtains. It's going to be curtains for these teams, man. It's going to get ugly, too. It's going to get ugly, too, man. But Sonia could score the rock. She could score the rock. I think between the two, her and Lucy, I think she's a slightly better scorer and shooter, but I think Sonia could still bring it. Now, here's the thing. For those guys that keep wondering, oh, man, neither one of them could score the basketball as well as Kelsey Mitchell. Here's where you're going to kind of bite your words. What did I just say about Steph Curry earlier in this video? What happened with him after Monte Ellis? He flourished, right? He started blossoming into the best shooter of all time, right? And he started scoring a lot more. Well, Caitlin is going to be scoring a lot more. It's going to open up Caitlin to score because now she has two threats. If Lexi Hall develops into that 3-and-D player that we all believe that she's going to become, well, now you got her, and then you got Sonia Citron on the other side that she can throw to. Then if you can add like a Kate Martin to come off the bench, I mean that'd be dynamic. Because I would love to get Powell. The only thing about Powell is I think she's getting taken in that top 10 because teams need another shooter. So, but that'd be great. If we can't get K. Martin from the Aces, man, try to go draft Powell. Now, if Lucy Olsen stays in the second round, we might be able to get her in Citron. You know what I mean? So her and Citron together. And just trying to figure out who you're going to keep long term, I think that'd be a good problem for the Fever. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be a really good problem for the Fever. And you're going to have this young guard who's going to grow next to Caitlin. And it's going to hide some of the deficiencies that Caitlin has on defense right now by having a two guard next to her that can play defense. It looks kind of awful right now sometimes for Caitlin because Mitchell doesn't play any defense or damn self next to her. You know what I'm saying? And Lexi Hall's way out on the wing, so she's not directly playing next to Caitlin on the court when they're in the defensive sets unless they're playing zone or something like that. But when they're playing man to man, 1-on-1, you're gonna see situations where Sonia Citron probably could have played some help defense to hide, because like I said, I think Caitlin could still become a better defender once she learns some. Like, I hope Lucy Olsen maybe teaches her the foot, how to move her feet on defense to kind of, because Caitlin is quick enough to where she could get to her spots on defense from side to side. So it's all about that quick first step sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And with Citron, that's what she's really excellent at. And Citron's a big body who could get in front of guards. And, because Kelsey Mitchell's a little bit smaller. And so she could get in front of guards and eat them up. And like I said before, unlike Mitchell, neither one of them, if you draft either one of them, they don't need to score more than Caitlin. They don't need to score more than Caitlin. They just need to do their part. You know what I'm saying? And it'll work. Because I see it working right now with the Liberty with Courtney Vandersloot and Sabrina Ionescu. Courtney plays the traditional point, and then Sabrina's the two guard. But she's a combo guard too, because we saw when Vandersloot was out earlier this season because of her mother's death, she was able to slide in and play that point position and play it pretty well. That's kind of the reason why she's been an MVP candidate, because her play as a point guard. It got her other stats up, like assists and stuff like that. And it's really made her like an MVP level player. Because normally it's usually Stewie. But like Sabrina's really upped their game this season, because of that. So, man, just think about what we can do with these types of things. And then we can save money with the cap and stuff like that, by not re-signing Mitchell to a max, So I'm not scared. Like I said, I'm not scared to draft either girl. I'm not. Y'all are, but I'm not. I'm willing to take a chance on this. I'm really willing to take a chance on this, man. But we'll see what the Fever do, man. I think it's going to be an interesting situation for the Fever, whatever they do with this. But I can't wait to see the way it turns out, man. I think if they could go on ahead and had the confidence to just get a younger player. Like, Caitlin's still young herself. She don't really need to win right now. You know what I mean? Like, I think some people are, people talking about the championship this year, and it could happen, but you got to understand, Cece's only 22. Like, she don't need to come in and win right away. You don't want her peaking too soon either. You want to kind of slowly make that climb, getting there. That way she could secure this dynasty pretty well. Get the young player in there right now while Cece is still learning the game herself. They can learn off of each other and get better. Because that's basically what him and Clay, Steph and Clay did. It took them about 3 seasons to win a ring. They got Clay in 2012? Was it 2012 when they got Clay? Or was it 2011? I think it was 2012. Then they won the first ring in 2015, beating LeBron James. So, yeah, it could take them just about 3 seasons for them to get this thing together. And I think Chrissy Sass will love Sonia Citron because he plays defense. So, I think that could definitely work. That could definitely work. But we'll see what the Indiana Fever does. It's going to ultimately be probably Mitchell's decision first, because she is the one that's an unrestricted free agent. She's going to decide what she's going to end up doing. The Fever, I have no doubt. I think the Fever are going to present the max to her. So I don't think nobody has to really worry about what the Fever are doing. It's more on Mitchell if she just wants to stay or not. And she said, I heard a report saying she wasn't going to stay. So we'll see how that goes in the offseason. But I think you draft, whatever you do with Mitchell, I think you still draft one of these guards anyways. Because Mitchell's still an older player, so you still need to replace her at some point. So I think you still grab one of those guards. They can play on the bench for a little bit, and then come in and earn starter minutes, man. So we'll see what happens. I just want to make this video real quick for y'all. But go on ahead and give me y'all thoughts in the comment section about it. And on my Patreon, I got a Patreon, as y'all already know. We're going to have some of Sonia Citron's games on the Patreon, so y'all can watch them. So I'm going to let y'all take it over in the comment section below. And we got some new information here on the Patreon that I want to go over real quickly with you guys, man. So on the Patreon, man, I have a section, and there's going to be a link in the description box that takes you directly to this page that you see right here. It is the Caitlin Clark games that I've been telling you guys that I've been posting on the Patreon. So all of the games that I had from the first half of the season before the Olympic break, they're all posted. So it's about 7 games. They're all posted, including the one against the Wings, the first game against the Wings before the break. Y'all can see that one right here. All of the games, I'm scrolling all the way to this first game with the Sparks against Cameron Brink. All of these games are up. And so what I've decided to do was, so now if you want to watch these games, you can get them for a very cheap price of $4.99, so $5. All you have to do is click this button where it says buy collection, and you don't even have to buy a subscription to the site. Now, the only thing that I'm going to warn you guys is that these games will be up for a limited amount of time. I'm only going to have this page up for a limited amount of time, probably until the college season starts in November. So you need to take advantage of this, make some plans to, hey man, like you're like, hey, I want to watch these games. I'm going to have this up a limited amount of time, so you don't have to buy a subscription. You will have access to every single game that's on this page for about a couple of months. So that is the information on the Patreon. And remember, guys, you can also donate. Cash App is $Sank Exchange. PayPal, the link is in the description box to donate there. For the Bitcoin, you need to scan the QR code that you see on the screen right now to donate to Bitcoin. And if you want to donate through the Super Thanks, I much appreciate that as well, as you can just donate through the Super Thanks. And yeah, so I thank anybody who donates, and those of you that probably want to donate and you can't, or you just want to do something where you can support the channel for free, you can give this video a like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all guys for watching. Track and Ace. See y'all in the next video.